All right, quick overview of the new beta. The big difference is devices now work. So up here you can see that this is Spooler 0, LHY Studios driver, LHY Studios controller. So if you go to the controller, this is what actually is connected to it. This is a laser connection. So you'll see that it has chip version and provides this information here. This is actually the matching code. So if you match to one chip rather than another chip, so if you have say two lasers, one's at 48 and one's at 50, you can make sure you get the chip there and specify it based on the chip, so you only get the one you need. Okay, so the big reason you'd need this is because in devices, there are actually devices. Now, if we load up preferences, you see this is LHY Studios preferences, and we load up controller, this is the LHY Studios controller. Because if you had something like a gerbil thing or some other device, you might certainly not need this stuff. I mean, this board setup is specifically for an LHY Studios, so you have to have the correct information there. So if we go to devices and we go to the Moshi board, you'll see that the Moshi board preferences are not the same. And you'll see that the Moshi board controller, not the same. You can still connect to it. The other important thing is there's some other backend things. You don't have to have the same front end and back end. This is just what interprets the spooled code that's sent to the spooler. And this is what outputs it. So this is the connection to the actual laser. But we don't actually need that. So say we select this and we add in LHY Studios, which means it's going to take in the cut code. It's going to take in the spooled content and turn it into LHY Studios code. And rather than this, I'm going to go to TCP, which means connect to the internet through a telecommunications protocol. We should be fine. However, I'm just going to do localhost 23 to show this how this works. Now let's before I go to this one, I'm going to go back to this. This is my 0. It has a LHY Studios output, so I'm going to be outputting to LHY Studios. Now in terminal, I need to start up the LHY server. Now I do this on this computer, so it's on this device. So it's 0 LHY Studios, and it's going to just give any content that this thing gives to the backend. So now we go back to devices, and we go here. This is my LHY Studios driver that sends to just this port. So we load this up, and let's go ahead and get a thing in here. Now let's go ahead and just disable this one because I'm going to run it with compile and sim, which is a little bit slow there. Now this is probably going to be the future of how it's set up, so it does a quick simulation of what you're going to burn. So say I wanted to remove, I just wanted to do the cut, so I disable the cut and I do compile and sim. It only shows this one, and so that's kind of useful. This is also going to be like the preview thing, so you can see it, 20% of the way through or 50% of the way through, so that you can see what the optimizations do. So in here we're going to have optimizations. It doesn't actually do anything currently, and we are currently selected on this one. You can change which device you send it to, but I'm going to send it to the TCP and then send to laser. Now it output this. Now on my primary card, I'm running a Matchbox fake laser card. So basically it's just a CH341 chip on a tiny little board. So in controller, it'll be stuck at weight. So here you can see, and let me show you the buffer view. Now this is the 0 one. This is not the one I ran it on. It received this over the local host. So when I hit force continue, it'll send it out to the card. It goes significantly faster because it's not actually sending it to a laser. It's sending it to just the laser communication chip on a little tiny card. And so that sent it over the laser. The idea is that you could get a Raspberry Pi or something, just do a pip install of Meerkat, and then you should be able to just start it up on a Raspberry Pi, run Lhyserver on that system, and then send all your Meerkat data just straight to that system, and you'll be fine. So you can have a somewhat distant-y thing and not have to mess with your cables as much. Don't burn down your house. All right. Let me go over the UX too. This stuff moves. It's moved before, but now it actually will save. So if you wanted to put this over here, and let's go ahead and have this free floating, and then we close it down. Now when we start Meerkat back up, what we get is a free floating button and our thing on the right. And the idea is when I get additional panes, if I close this down, I can't actually load it back up because I don't have it located. But you could get actual panes like a navigator and just have this little box here and then use that to move around, or any other panes. If you have any good ideas, go ahead and post them to the GitHub or whatever for little mini windows. It's trying to make the UX a little more customizable. Let's go ahead and okay. Covered that. There's also controller devices. Here we can also do, say, durable to file. Yeah. Okay. What file name does this output to? myfile.gcode. Okay. And so I now load up this the Gerbil, and we go back and we load this up because I closed it down, and we go ahead and hit compile and sim. Do I not have a cut? I have a cut. Okay, compile and sim. Now I still have raster disabled, and now let me show you. Let me switch devices to the wrong device. Now if I do compile and sim, it'll want to send it to my normal LHY Studios laser, but I'm going to go ahead and redirect it and send it to my gerbil, and then go ahead and send to laser. It's going to output myfile.gcode, and it's going to be located in the root directory. So it's going to send out this file. Oh, it's completed. It just beeped for me. So here's the myfile.gcode, which was located on my desktop because I was running this up on the desktop. You can note that this code is a little bit wrong because it's loading up G1s, but eventually it'll be able to do some reasonable work here. And it doesn't have any of the intro stuff, and the settings are a little bit weird. So he stopped watching a little bit, whatever. Oh, I still have it on LHY Studio. So here, if we go ahead and go to the controller, this is actually going to be the file. So this just has the file and some basic file stuff, and you can't really change any of the stuff. And then in preferences, it doesn't have a properties thing, but eventually it'll get there, and it's set up for that. So go ahead and offer suggestions or desires or whatever. And that's about it. So Beta24. Compile and sim is a little bit slow. I kept turning this thing off because if you turn it on, you get compile and sim. It puts this graphics here, and then it goes super slow. But eventually this will have the optimization step and be mostly done. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.